Noodles and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
And running TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Are you still going to use the driver's seat terminology, or is that one kind of out the window for a little bit?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Because I'm in the press box last night, and the Jays are getting pumped, and over my left shoulder, I just hear someone kind of whisper down. He just goes, Hayes, Hayes. And I look back, and it's Griff. And he goes, I don't think the Jays are in the driver's seat anymore.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. I'm like, you're right, Griff. They're definitely not.
When did you say that, though? You said that at the end. Like
He's been saying it every day ever since the Jays made the playoffs.
Okay, but yes, they beat and handily beat the Yankees. But I haven't heard you say driver's seat since they started playing Seattle. Now, that just
been two games, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. And yeah, they're not. I can confirm the Jays are not in the driver's seat.
No,
okay.
They're not.
One thing in watching it, did they take him out too early, or was it fine? You were fine.
I was fine with you, Savage, coming out. I did not like Gausman the game before.
Right.
They have this
formula.
Yeah, they have a formula, whether it's a certain amount of outs, 15, 16, 17 outs, or a certain amount of pitches, and generally it coincides, and it did with both starts. For Gausman, it was the exact same thing. He gave them 16 outs in game one. I think he gave them
a couple rotations
17 outs.
Yeah,
exactly. 76 pitches, 75 pitches, and then they go into Galaxy Brain.
Yeah.
We're going to bring this guy in for an out. That guy's coming in for 2. That guy's going to come in for 3.
Yeah.
And they pulled them at the wrong time. But again, much like the Barrios to Kikuchi scenario, it didn't matter because the offense.
Yeah.
The bats were ice cold. They got 2 hits in game 1. I can't tell you how different the feeling was. I honestly, I say this a lot. Like, I've never experienced anything like it. The party in game 1 and 2 with the Yankees was a music festival. It was crazy. The dome was open. The weather was beautiful. They were hitting home runs. They were crushing the Yankees. It was just 50,000 people going nuts.
Right.
For 3 hours.
Especially since Seattle got in there at like midnight on Saturday, late, delay, after playing 15 innings. And you would think the Jays would just pump them, and they look like they just didn't miss a beat.
They look fresh.
They look fresh as a daisy, man.
Seattle look great.
Yeah.
Like, credit where it's due. Seattle's a really good team, and they came in and they fed the Jays their lunch.
Yeah.
But it's Sunday night, long weekend, 8 p.m. start. So everyone's been downtown or at family events. It was crazy to start the game. And when Springer hit that home run, I'm like, this is it. We're just going to do this again.
Yeah.
Like, the Jays
crushed them.
They're going to crush this team.
And then they had, one hit after that?
They had one more hit the rest of the game. No more runs. People are leaving the stadium. It was quiet.
It was bare empty. I'm watching the finish of that game last night. People had left.
They were out of there.
It.
After the 8th inning, that place cleared out. It looked as if the Guardians were in town middle of May.
Yeah.
That was the 9th inning. It was the Guardians on May 12th.
Wow.
And it was a game 2 of the ALCS.
Seattle has some players. That Morgan Wallen look-alike.
I'm glad you bring that up because Cal Raleigh.
He looks exactly like Morgan Wallen.
He looks like a pudgier older brother of Morgan Wallen.
What's the dumper look like? It's a dumper, isn't it?
There's another guy, Luca.
Yeah.
He looks kind of like off-season Luca a little bit, or Luca's older brother. That's Hedge brought that up.
Okay.
Because Hedge is like, what about Luca? Because we're having these chats. I'm like,
really?
He looks like Morgan Wallen. And
he
she
looks
threw
exactly like him.
Yeah. With the stash. He's clean cut in the stash. The dumper's massive, dude.
Yeah. Well,
I'm up like way down the third baseline, almost in left field. And this thing, you can see him walking.
Yeah, he's that guy.
He's got a grit grinder body. Yeah,
he does.
For sure.
And he is behind the plate. It's so impressive watching him play because nothing gets past him.
Yeah.
Pop flies all over the place. He's getting up. He's running down balls. Jays are laying down bunts. He's chasing them.
Yeah. He's a player, man.
All he does is catch and hit bombs.
Yeah.
Dude, anything goes near the middle of the plate, that guy is just a vulture, and he goes nuts on it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
His jack, like in game 1, I thought he dragged it out of the dirt. It was a low pitch, and he
can
knocked
play.
it out, man.
That's
he can
why
play,
he's
man.
likely the MVP, and Polanco's killing him through 2 games. And
Dude, that guy's a monster.
He
right
is.
from the last game in the previous series against Detroit into this one, he's killing them single-handedly.
killing him.
Everything.
Polanco's killing him through 2 games.
So
And it's only 2 games.
it is 2 games. So
It's
let
only
me
2
ask you
games.
this then.
But, dude, we hang on a sec.
Yeah,
we
you're
said
right.
it about the Yankees and the Jays. We said the Jays are just flat out better. For right now, Seattle is just flat out better, and it looks that way. Like,
Right.
we talk about the difficulty of getting on the bird going into. I hate 2-3-2, by the way, for this exact reason.
yes.
Yes.
Hate
Yeah.
it.
If
Yeah.
you're down 0-2 flying across the country,
For a 3-pack against a team that just dummied you,
And
where is your morale at?
And you
Not
know
great.
that they're saying in the room, we're not getting on the bird going back. We've got to get 2 of 3 here in our city.
mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying. But if you had told me on Friday afternoon, Jays would be down 0-2 or the Leafs lost 2 to Detroit in regulation, what would have been more realistic for you? Because
I'd probably say Leafs because
I'd have a difficult time picking one.
yeah, I mean I would have
I
figured
thought
the
split
Leafs.
for both.
Yeah, for sure, and especially the Leafs are up 2-0 on Saturday night
Right.
in the driver's seat against a wounded
A
team.
team that had been called
Horrible.
out by their coach and lost
and
5-1.
morale is down.
Yeah.
And again, the Jays, same thing. Game 1, Springer hits that home run, and you're like, driver's seat, here we go.
Yeah.
I did not see the Jays getting kind of demoralized the way they did.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's not shocking that any team loses 2 in a row,
Right.
but Game 1 was really tough. Game 2 was awful. They got pumped last night. Like, they got pumped
Yeah.
last
well,
night.
Yeah, it was a tough watch.
That was really tough. You lose 10-3 at home in a borderline must-win game. Very demoralizing. The Leafs,
I don't think they've played yet.
they have not played well at all. I don't care how many shots they had on goal yesterday.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant to me. The way they look, the way they're defending, how slow they look at different times, the guys making mistakes, veteran guys.
Right.
That
You look at that JVR goal from last night. Carlo fumbles himself at the blue line. JVR goes down, and it's like, I don't know why. Like, sooner or later, if I'm not a defenseman, but you just got to make a play on a guy. And Morgan Riley was right level with him. I was like, throw
Poke
a
him
poke
away.
check. Throw a poke check.
yes,
Come away. Yeah.
force him.
Dylan
Riley
Larkin,
did not.
I mean, this
did not
is
play
just
that
a
well.
good play.
That's
He
a
makes
great
good-
play.
yeah.
Puts it under the bar. That's a beautiful shot. This angle here shows you how he got it up. Bar down. Like, that's a pretty good shot. But here,
this play right here, it's like Mo gets even with him. It's like sooner or later you got to pressure him to do something, and he just holds on to it and roofs it under the bar. It's like no matter who in that league you give time to like that, they're going to put it in the net.
yeah, I could see like JVR kind of sold like he was going to throw it back because that was it was a partial breakaway, but there was a trailer. I don't know if that was Casper. I can't remember who that was coming. But you see Mo kind of stutter step going, okay, I'm going to take the pass, let the goalie take the shot. But, like, that's the one thing, too. I was telling you off air, like, Stolarz, he's playing, like, he doesn't get these spaced out starts. Like, it's every night for you. You're playing. And now Primo's playing tonight. But he doesn't get a start, and then it's a week off. You get to psych yourself up, get ready. Like, you know, he's going to have a slight market correction as well. Not everything's going to be 935 save percentage. But I think Stolarz is a product of the team in front of him. They all, and the whole league is sloppy right now. Sloppy. But the Leafs look sloppy, and they've got to find a way to get back on the rails here. Both teams played yesterday, but they're in their own building. I'm expecting a response against Nashville.
Well, you would think so. Yeah, the urgency needs to arrive.
Right.
Like, what I think makes it more difficult for Leaf fans is they look at Florida and their start.
Yeah, it's like they've been to 3 Cup finals in a row, and why are they raring to go?
Barkov's out, Kachuk's out. They have all the reason in the world to say, wake us up in November and we'll snap out of it.
Yeah.
And they're just smoking teams. Yeah. And the Leafs are here, haven't won anything, lost players, bit of a weird camp. And they come out with looking with like they have a complete lack of urgency. And that's what is concerning. The Jays are a completely different story. The Jays aren't lacking urgency. They're in the playoffs. They're just not producing. They can't hit. All of a sudden, their bats have gone cold. Their bullpen arms, whoever Schneider goes to right now, is jamming him. Whoever he's choosing is coming out and can't get out of jams. Craig Berube, like we talked about the Todd McClellan speech, Berube's not far off that.
Right.
And he shouldn't be far off that. I get it's early and it's a veteran team. They're a very veteran team, but it's a tough division. And you're 3 games in and you haven't looked very good. And your best players, like Berube called out Willie last night, and he should. Nylander's been awful through 3 games.
Yeah, their top 3 forwards haven't scored a goal on a goalie.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Matthews empty net, Willie empty net.
Yeah.
And Tavares is just kind of out there, and he and Nylander aren't connecting. It's
Like,
ugly through 3 games.
If I'm Berube, I want to show William Nylander, Brad Marchand clips saying, why is this guy buzzing around, showing leadership, being the guy with other guys injured, and I have to worry about your intensity and why you're not shooting the puck and why you're not getting to the inside? Why is that even a thing? It's got to be frustrating. And sooner or later, and Chief has talked a lot about how this guy's got more and there's still more for him to do. Sooner or later, you just think, are you ever going to do it?
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking a little stretch here. It's been around a long time, man.
Well, that's it. It's veteran guys. It's Nylander. It's Morgan Riley making mistake. You can't ice that puck last night. Like, it's just a crazy icing, and it burns him, and it burns the team. He's been in the league 13 years.
Yeah.
You know, you can't make that play.
There's,
It's just, again, it's one thing if Easton Cowan makes a play, you say, all right, he's rookie, he's figuring this thing out. The fourth line guy makes a play. These are their best players
right.
who they're looking at. And again, with Austin, it's, yes, he's got a lot of shots, and he hit the crossbar on Saturday. You got to score, and you got to play with some emotion.
Right.
You know, there's been some scrums early in the season where he's just kind of gliding in. How's everyone doing? It's like, man, you're the captain here. Everyone's looking at you. Marner's gone.
Yeah.
Like, Mitch is gone, and everyone's wondering what's it going to look like here. I expect more out of him tonight too. I don't think
Sounds
it's
awful,
just
but
Willie.
up front, it almost looks like 3 Mitches have left. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a big hole, right? I mean, the kid is getting an opportunity, and it's so difficult because I had to do it. I played with Brendan Shanahan and Nelson Emerson as a 20-year-old, and you barely know what's going on. Getting from A to B, flights, travel, practice schedule, and then you got to go on the ice and say, I'm playing with a 50-goal scorer in Shanahan. I've got to get him the puck. I've got to be sound, responsible in your own zone.
Yeah.
And then you're playing against the best D pair from the other team as a 20-year-old. Not easy, man, for Easton Cowan or anybody to do that at that level.
It's not. And there was lots of praise for him last night, and rightfully so. But if that's the only storyline you're dragging out, listen, Cam Talbot made some great saves.
Yes, Talbot was great.
Don't get me wrong. Like, that could have easily been.
There was a getting goalied element to it.
Yeah, of course.
At least, they were in that game. They didn't get outplayed.
They didn't. There was lots of opportunity to grab that game.
Saturday was way worse.
Exactly.
They were not good
Saturday's
Saturday.
response, and they looked, as the game went on, they looked slower. You know, Detroit got it going and got their speed game going. But last night, it was like Detroit kind of like slowed the game down because they're like, hey, we don't really have our A stuff. We're going to hang in here and hope that guy makes some saves. And they kind of did. And then they get one near the end, which is, seeing eye shot, whatever you want to call it.
It's unlucky bounce. It goes off Matthews.
Weird play. But you could just feel something coming. Like, you could feel, like, I was like, it's going to be overtime and they get a point out of it. Maybe they get a second point. And then all of a sudden that happens. And now you've lost 2 in regulation. They played Detroit twice in the preseason. I think they lost both games, didn't they? I think
They definitely did. Yeah, I can't remember what
because Reimer
they lost
one off where
overtime.
they lost. Reimer was
right.
Anyways,
You're
the
right.
preseason means nothing. But the point being is, Detroit is a team that you have to. You're in that. That's a divisional game. You got to keep these guys down. Like, that's there's. I mean, Buffalo's a different story. They're 0-3. So
Buffalo is probably not in a consideration right now.
Consideration right now.
But you look at the news out of Ottawa. Brady Tkachuk's out for a long period of time.
At least a month.
It's a big hit, and they've lost. What are they 1-2, I believe, to start the year.
1-2.
Tampa has been kind of just okay.
Won the first game yesterday.
Yeah, it's like Florida's been the pace car. Boston's been decent. Pretty soft schedule, but Boston might be better this year. The Habs are feeling great. The Habs just got Lane Hudson signed, and their management's sticking around for the next 5 years, and they've got their home opener tonight, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, it comes at you quick. Yes, it's October. Yes, it's only 3 games. That goes without saying.
You always talk about the divisions, Hayes, and you say the teams that get in, it's usually off the start. And the Leafs usually, they bumble a little bit off the start, and then they you got to put that chunk together that gets yourself into the playoffs.
Right.
where you're just on a heater and it's like, not that it's smooth sailing, cruising after that, but you got to put that chunk together. And if you don't, and you're just up and down and bebopping around, you're going to have a difficult time, man. I don't care what your team is.
You need the streak that separates you from the pack. And right now, they look like a team that's going to be in the pack the whole year. They've got to elevate. And how do you elevate? Your top players elevate.
Well, and that's a big part of it. And that's where, again, I think the frustration is last time we saw you, it was as embarrassing as it can get. Let's call it what it is. Game 7 against Florida. And then you have a turnover offseason. Like Marner is a huge part of their identity for a decade. And that's kind of hanging on you. And there's questions. Okay, what is Matthews going to look like now that he's healthy? What do you look like with Tavares coming back?
Right.
He stuck around. He got his deal. How does he look as he gets older? You're bringing all your defense back, but they're not young.
Right.
Okay, Joseph Wall's not around. That's going to be different for you. There was an opportunity for them that they did not relish through 2-3 games. They might through 10. Maybe through 10, they're 7-3, and you say they actually did.
Right.
But through 3 games, when a lot of people have their eyes on the Leafs, I think in a different fashion than they have in a long time, because it was very routine for them to make the playoffs for like a decade.
Right.
Like it was just, that was what they were going to do. I think people have their eyes on them. Like, all right, what's this going to look like here? How's this going to feel? And it's 3 games, but I think the doubters are thinking, okay, I might be emboldened with my doubting because I don't know what they're going to be. I'm not sure how they're going to, fulfill some of the holes that have been left behind, or them being a year older. How do they stay fresh? How do they show that they have some speed? If you're going to be big, that's great, but do you play big?
Yeah.
Or are you just big?
Yeah.
Especially with the 100 points going out the door, and they talked about they got a bunch of different faces instead of they wanted to get rid of the core 4 talk. Well, that's fine and everything, but the core 4 got them into the playoffs every year. Right. And these new faces, some of them need to pick it up a little bit if they're going to chip in and do it by committee.
Big time.
Because frankly, some of them aren't doing it.
Well, and with the core 4, again, I understand why it was frustrating for Berube, especially come playoff time, and a long-time hockey guy that just wants one for all for one.
Yeah.
But the 4 were so talented, and 3 of them are still here. Let's clarify that. Right. And Nyes is still here, and he's not Marner, but he's an immensely talented player. But the rest of the team kind of operated in a certain way.
Yeah.
They were supposed to play a certain system and be tough, and there's a scrum, everyone get in there. And those 4, they have their own identity, which have been established for a long time. Right? They're not going to get in scrums. They're not going to hit. They're not going to fight. That's not how they're going to play.
Right.
But
they're affecting the scoreboard.
Exactly. They're going to score, 180 goals combined and all these different points. Now you're down 1, and 2 of the 3, I think Matthews has been okay. He's been fine.
Yeah.
But 2 of the 3 left over have not shown up yet in the season.
No.
So, again, if it's going to be a core 3, or if you want them all to blend in, then those guys have to start playing a little bit differently. And I'm not going to hold my breath on that. Like, Willie's not coming in dropping his gloves because someone got hit. Like a lot of Leaf fans, again, watching last night, Cowan, there were some liberties taken on him. Matthews didn't do anything. But that's not who he is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not waiting for him. He's not going to come flying in. He's not. That's not who he is.
Just not.
Just because Marner's not here, he's not. They're not going to blend together and be the Panthers.
Well,
that's not how they operate. That's not their DNA.
I think it also, maybe I'm wrong, but it might have hit a nerve with Leaf fans. That was Benny Sherratt that was giving it to.
I was on Saturday. Came over and kind of grabbed them.
That's the guy who we had cross-checking gate, wasn't it? Because Sherratt was with who?
Well, he was with Montreal at one point.
Montreal in the bubble where he was cross-checking Matthews.
Is he the one that horse-collared him?
Yes, and Matthews was laughing, like doing the fake laugh at him.
That's
like,
the first thing I saw when I was watching that. I was like, okay, that's Sherratt. Like, that's the guy who, there's a history there. This guy's gone after you a few times. Again, it's game 3 or that was game 2.
Pop him in the head.
Give him a little.
Yeah, he's not going to drop his gloves with Austin Matthews. He knows better than that.
I don't know if you thought that.
I know, but you know better than that. Asking for the pop in the head, that's not going to happen.
No, I get it, and I that's what I'm expressing. Like, we're not going to do this all year. It's not going to be scrum lurking. Oh, he didn't go in there.
Right.
It's not going to happen. But then, as a result, if your best players are going to play the same way they have forever, there's only so much you can expect if you're Berube to be like, well, we're getting rid of the core 4 identity. Well, I don't think you are. I mean, it's just still kind of core 4 than everyone else, only it's a core 3 now.
Yeah.
And they still got to bring what they can bring. Like, if you're not going to bring all those other elements,
You got to score.
You got to score. You got to put up points. Got to be a difference maker.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, the winning goal, unlucky, but Riley's on the ice, Matthews on the ice, Nylander on the ice.
Yeah.
And you lose a point last night. You got Nashville tonight, and Caden Primo, I'm curious to see what he looks like.
Yeah. I mean,
like, it's a big opportunity for him.
It really is. And it's hard for me to judge him because when you look at it, you watched him play in Montreal. They were in a rebuild.
When is his last game in the NHL?
We'll have to look that up because I don't. But
I don't have an
believe
answer
it was
for you either.
I don't know if it was last year or the previous year, but there was a game I watched him. He made 50 saves in Montreal and stole a game. But every other game I watched him, he'd get hung out to dry and wasn't very good. Now, unfortunately, he was a young goaltender with a high prospect in Montreal, square in the middle of a rebuild. So I'm curious to see how he's going to play with a team that has a solid decor, that has structure in front of him, veteran team. That's the difference. Like, I want to give him a clean slate and say, that's not the Primo I watched in Montreal. That was a completely different team. He's now in an opportunity where it's supposed to be a very good team on home ice. You know, see what you got type of thing.
Yeah, let's see what he's got.
You know how goalies can just pop up and just have success in a certain market the second or third time around.
Well,
that's
right.
what you're looking for.
You're
hoping for.
And lost in all of this, at some point, even if he establishes himself, Joseph Woll's coming back. Like, I would have to believe that he's coming back at some point. If it's a couple weeks from now, a month from now. Now, I imagine that decision will be made by management, but if Primo settles in and plays very well, you're going to have decisions to be made. Joseph Woll coming back at some point.
At some point.
I hope that he's, doing great.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, you haven't heard a lot, but it does, you got to hope that he returns at some point for sure.
Doogie says December 1st, 2024.
Okay. So less than a year ago he was playing, but that was early in the year when the Habs were still fighting it.
Yes.
Like, they came on large in the second half.
They went on a heater.
Well, Dolbish was a big part of that. Remember, he got called up, and then obviously Montembeault was going to be a part of it. All right, Steve Phillips coming up this hour on what happened with the Jays the last two games, and how do you paint a positive picture now going to Seattle. And last night, the Brewers almost came back and won that game. It was a low-scoring game. The Dodgers found a way, though. The Dodgers up 1-0. Game 2 tonight in Milwaukee.
Man.
They're so dangerous. So we'll catch up with Steve and get his take on the first two games of the ALCS and tee up game 2 of the NLCS. And, of course, we got Mike Johnson coming up, Leafs Predators on TSN tonight. So Johnny coming up from the rink. He'll join us just after 5 o'clock. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Day, because the Leafs were playing, and the Jays were playing, and the Bills were playing.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of people in this town that love all three of those teams.
The Bills weren't like, what's going on there?
They did not look good last night. Now, I was at the Jays.
He's going to do his yearly beginning of the year Super Bowl favorites. It's their year to what the hell are these guys all about?
There's a lot of weird things going on in the NFL. Ravens are a mess.
Your buddy there, Al's brother, was like, should have known it. They can't play under the lights. What a comment from him.
Al's brother
He's outrageous.
They can't play under the lights.
so arrogant right now, but deservedly so, picking winners. Hayes and Bro were on fire right now. What a pick with the Bears last night. A Chiefs win. That was a tough one. But, yesterday was tough. It's a tough day if you're a local sports fan.
The Bills, that's not square on Josh Allen, right? Like, he hasn't looked good, though.
But he hasn't quite been himself.
Right.
The last two games. Like, New England had him looking very squirrely.
Yeah.
And same thing with Atlanta last night. And
he shrugged it off pretty casually. He's like, I just got to get better and do this and do that. It's like he expects this little blip, and then they just get back on form and they get back to it.
Yeah.
He was pretty casual about it. He wasn't freaking out at all.
No.
They have a bye week, right? So they've got 2 weeks to get their act together.
They're going to be fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
I'm not worried about the Bills. I think they're going to be fine.
Right.
But New England's better than I thought they'd be. They're 4-2. They're technically leading the AFC East right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Did you see that one coming at the start of the year?
No, not necessarily. I thought they'd be better, but Drake May looks good.
Yeah.
You know, Drake May looks good, and Vrabel's a pretty good coach, pretty good inspiring coach. You know, like there's X's and O's guys, and then there's rah-rah guys. He's like your classic rah-rah guy.
Didn't the guy that replaced Vrabel just get gassed
Yeah,
yesterday?
he did. Tennessee. Gassed. That quickly into the year. See you later.
Is Miami's coach on thin ice, too?
Has to be after the Tua comments where he said people are showing up late to meetings or not even coming to meet. Like, how do you say that publicly?
Yeah.
I thought McDaniel was going to get fired before Tua was done on the podium.
Me too.
I'm like, there's no way that a guy can come out and say that. I don't know what I think of Tua for saying that out loud, but I guess if you just had enough, you've had enough.
That's kind of what it looks like. Like Tua's almost saying, this guy's killing me.
Yeah.
I got to
Killing
get
us.
some. He's killing
us.
all of us.
Tua might have stood up and taken it for the whole team and said, this is how we feel.
Right.
This is, this guy's got to go.
Yeah, it's Tua, and it's not like he's going to the All-Pro this year. But
it's still,
I know. It's weird. Like, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on in sports. Like, a lot of weird stuff going on out there. But the Jays, they can't, their bats are ice cold. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And Schneider said it after the game last night. Like, they've got to start slugging again. They have one home run in the series, and it's particularly highlighted when Seattle is mashing like they did yesterday. Seattle's hitting home runs, and they're hitting doubles, and
their pitchers are pitching,
and they're pitching the Jays very well.
Yeah.
But the Jays they're at bats. There's nothing, and Vladdy through 2 games, no hits.
Yeah,
dude, he's doing that thing. Remember when I talked about it in the Yankees series? He's not like he's just smashing down on it, and these grounders, and it's like against the Yankees, he was like undercutting it, and they were flying out of the ballpark.
He's putting balls in play. I don't believe he struck out yet. Like, so it's not, he's putting balls in play. The first game in particular, he hit a couple of really, hard hit line drives, but it's not the divisional series anymore.
Yeah.
And you punked the Yankees and you goofed on the Yankees. Your job's not done.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's got to come alive. He's got to be better. He just hasn't been good enough through 2 games.
Yeah.
Here's Steve Phillips, our TSN baseball insider. What sticks out to you, Steve, in particular? You look back on the Blue Jays, the first 2 games. Like, what was the main reason that they're down 0-2 flying to Seattle?
Yeah, I think certainly the offense. I mean, this is a team that scored 34 runs in 4 games against the Yankees. And, in game 1, they did hit some balls hard right at people. And look, they're facing really good pitchers, but, you had a chance to keep the Mariners down on the mat. I mean, they were tired. They were starting Bryce Miller on short rest, Logan Gilbert on short rest. Like, there's an advantage going into that. They've flown back and forth from Seattle to Detroit to Seattle to Toronto. And they played loose and came out swinging. And the Jays hit some line drives that people just couldn't get anything going. And then in game 2, I mean, the pitching wasn't what it had been. Give the Mariners credit for that. But the Jays, who knows what happens if Rosarena struck out in the first inning, right? He thought he was struck out. And Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire, called it a ball, and then he hits it with a pitch, and then, a walk and a home run, and you're down 3-0. And then, you do muster the offense to come back. But, how much can you expect to get off of a really good pitching staff and a very good bullpen that they have there in Seattle? And so, it's one that it's a little disappointing, and this is a big hole. It's going to be really tough to dig out of. Teams have done it, but they're going to have to turn on a dime, and it just did not feel good after the first 2 games.
Steve, where are you at with taking Gausman out when he came out, and same thing with your Savage yesterday?
Yeah, so I would not have taken Gausman out when he did. That was just, Gausman had gave up a hit on the fastball to Raleigh in the first inning. And Raleigh had been 6 for 11 against him, 3 home runs, with 3 home runs that all come on the fastball. And so in the second at bat, he ends up throwing exclusively splits. And the split finger struck out Raleigh. Then in that next at bat, he started him off with a split finger. Then he came with a fastball out of the zone, show me pitch, and they threw another split. At that point, Raleigh's like, I'm going to look for the split. Like, he's not going to throw me another fastball. I kill his fastball. And sure enough, he went down and hit the split. But that was just baseball stuff, right? Raleigh hit a good pitch. It was down. He went down and scooped it out of the park. Then the walk, and I get the walk, maybe John Schneider, but I don't go to the bullpen right there with Little. And then, once they wild pitched Julio Rodriguez to second, then I walk Polanco. Polanco from the right side is better than he is from the left side. And so you walk Polanco, and then you face Naylor with 2 outs on runners on first and second. I would never have pitched to Polanco there. And so I wouldn't have taken out Gausman. And then once you did, I would have walked Polanco after the wild pitch that sent Rodriguez to second.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly it can turn. After that bullpen game 4, Schneider's on top of the world. Vladdy's on top of the world, and now Schneider's getting cooked for every decision he makes, and Vladdy doesn't have a hit through 2 games.
Who do you think's getting cooked more, though? Probably Vladdy?
It's probably Schneider. It probably is because it's the easy thing to do. Everyone hates on the manager.
Yeah. And the way he walks out to the mound, and he was doing it so much, people were like, stop it.
Right, and he made mistakes. Like what Steve just said is spot on. He made mistakes, but for me, it should be Vladdy. Like your job's not done. I get you have ebbs and flows, and maybe you were due for a game or whatever, but he came up the first 3 times he came up yesterday, Steve. He had runners on, and he couldn't cash any of them. And he's got to be better than what he's been through 2 games. It comes at you quick, man. It's not It's not the regular season where you can say I had a great week and I had a down week. You don't have time for that. And
too much at stake.
Yeah, and Vladdy, man, he was dancing on the grave of the Yankees, and now through 2 games, he just hasn't been good enough.
Yeah, I see the same thing, though, that you guys do, that that swing that he takes where he sort of swings down on it, and that's where he doesn't trust himself to stay back, and so he gets out in between, and when you do that, it changes the bat path when you swing it, and so you can only hit it hard on the ground. I would rather him swing and miss, but hunting the bottom of the baseball, than to get that halfway swing where he's going to hit a hard ground ball to third. I'd rather him try to drive it, and he can get there. It's a confidence thing, and it's trusting, and it's, and each at bat connects to the other. If he has a good first at bat, then the next time he's going to be more comfortable to sort of wait back on it. If they got a lead, it would be more comfortable to wait back on it where he doesn't feel the pressure like I have to. But that's what these games are right now, right? The high pressure moments of how do you slow the game down? How do you slow your heartbeat? How do you be the same player you are in August on an August 19th game against Kansas City, where you're just out there playing as you are in a playoff game, that the heartbeat doesn't change, the approach doesn't change, and it's not easy to do. But guys can get locked in on that, and you got to hope that this offense gets going quickly with the game 3 tomorrow.
How do they start feeling good about themselves, Steve? I mean, this Seattle team wheeled in here at midnight, playing late, probably hungover, and they showed up and dummied these guys. Like, how difficult it was. You talk about Vladdy starting to feel comfortable, the whole team to feel good about themselves come game time in Seattle.
Yeah, so, listen, remember the loss to the Yankees in that game 3 where it felt like the series had completely flipped the script, right? It felt like, oh, man, they're not ever going to come back. It was going to be a bullpen day on game 4. It felt like the series had completely turned around, and the Jays just came out and played and won the game. And so they can do that. It's in there to do it. I think certainly Bieber is going to be very important. And look, the bottom line is this. Teams that out-homer the other are 18-4 in the postseason. So the team that out-homers the other team, they're 18-4. So you've got to keep the ball in the ballpark, and you've got to get somebody to knock it out of the ballpark. And so that's got to be the way that they go. And, you can't shoot yourself in the foot. This is one of the best defensive teams in baseball. And, look, Jimenez tried to make a great play yesterday, got an error on it, but it hurt. It hurt, right? He got the runner on second, then they walk Raleigh, and then Polanco hits the home run. Then Varsho, I think with the roof open, there was some wind, and I think he misplayed the fly ball to center that normally I think he would play. And make a play on it that hit off the wall.
Yep.
And so those are things that cost you bases, base runners, and outs in playoff games, and the good teams make you pay for it.
Yeah, they do. Even Kirk looked tired last night. Like, Kirk looked tired, man, and you shouldn't be. Like, yes, it's a long season, but they've had time off. Seattle was the one that had to go 5 and then fly across the country.
Right.
So day off today, they fly to Seattle, back at it tomorrow. You mentioned Bieber. who didn't have the greatest start. Clearly, Game 3 against the Yankees. Ultimately, it didn't matter because they won that series. To me, the bats obviously have to come alive. Right. But if they don't, you got to do what the Dodgers did last night. If you got to win 1-0, you got to win 1-0.
He needs a jam.
Exactly. Like for me, Steve, as much as I look at the bats collectively, I look at Bieber, and it'd be great if they could do what they did against the Yankees. They got on the board quickly against New York. Every game they showed up and said, runs are going up, first inning.
But this Seattle team looks like they're saying that's not happening against us.
That's definitely a part of it. And Seattle, I think, feels confident that they can crawl back into the game. But if the Jays get runs on the board early,
right,
Bieber's got to have himself a night. And I don't believe Schneider and Walker will get away from this practice of allowing them to go 75 pitches and then you're out. But again, look at Snell last night. Like, if Bieber is great, why would you possibly take him out tomorrow? I know we're forecasting already, but,
right.
You can speak on what you expect out of him.
But you're 100% right. I mean, at this point, it's not about what anybody showed you during the regular season. Is there a single pitcher that you think has a hot hand coming out of the bullpen right now?
No.
And does right? And so do any of them make you more comfortable to get through the 6th inning or into the 7th inning than Shane Bieber if he's pitching well? And the answer is no. And here's the thing. It may cost you the game going about it that way, but that's really the way I think he has to manage right now, especially, taking Gosman out. Like, he's your ace. And he was pitching an excellent ball game. And a solo home run for Cal Raleigh does not mean that you're losing it. It means that Cal Raleigh did to you what he did 61 other times this year. So, okay. You just regroup and you go get them. And so I think that they really do need, even if the offense is there, they need Bieber to be good, because the only way the bullpen is going to be good is if you keep them in the bullpen for as much as you can. Do not let them keep getting looks at them. Just like we talk about how starting pitchers face the lineup the third time through the lineup, right? Where the numbers spike for starting pitchers. It's actually the same thing for relievers. The third time relievers see the same lineup, their numbers spike exponentially. And so for the Jays, not only do they need Bieber to give them a great start, they need their bullpen to not be used so they don't give so many looks, so that there's something fresh and new and rested and different when they do finally get in the game.
Great stuff, Steve. Enjoy the game tonight and enjoy Game 3 tomorrow. We'll do it later in the week.
All right. Thank you, guys.
There he is, Steve Phillips, our TSN baseball insider. Another storyline that ultimately likely didn't matter in the end was Santander pulls the shoot right before the game.
Sore back? What was it like?
Yes, sore back.
Back stiffness or tightness.
Yeah.
It must drive them crazy. Like, he hasn't been here all year, and the back has not been the problem. You're in the lineup. You're on the team because basically they paid him that much money.
Right.
He has potential, and Bichette's too hurt to go. And then right before the game, seemingly, bad back.
But didn't he have a helmet and a bat later in the game? I thought I saw him.
I don't know. I was there. I never saw him warming up
which
or
was
anything.
weird. But
helmet and a bat, what, just sitting on
I don't know. Like,
possibly going to go in. Yeah,
he was possibly going to go in. And I'm like, didn't you say your back was all tight? It was just a weird thing, man.
I believe he was doing media before the game and everything, and then I can't do it.
100 Dorn.
Yes. Bad back, can't go. Schneider, you're up. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Something to chew on, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP, where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. So fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. I just mentioned Bichette. We're asking online today. You can vote at OverDrive 1050. Which injury has had a bigger impact on the team's playoff run? Bichette for the Jays, Stolars for the Leafs. It's a good one. It's real tight. It's 50-50 right now online.
Wow.
I would lean Stolars because of the position. Like, not that Wall is
he's the last line of defense.
It's such an important position. But that said, like, Bo, shortstop, he's going to hit likely cleanup for you, third. Like, he's such a huge, pivotal part of the team. And he didn't hurt. His absence didn't matter against New York.
I might lean Bo. Just because, we just look at Vladdy and say, Vladdy, you got to do this. And maybe Bo would have been that backup guy for him to say, you know what? You want to take a couple games off? I got you.
Yeah.
Well, and you look at Nathan Lucas has been unreal. So, like, Lucas has been hitting, And then you got Vladdy doing what he's doing, and then Bichette can protect him.
Barger's
move Kirk
cooled
a little
off.
bit down. Barger's really cooled off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really cooled off. Between him and Vladdy, it's just you're not getting anything, back to back in the lineup there. I'd lean Stolarz just because of the position. He's going to factor in to the game a little bit more than Bichette's 4 or 5 at-bats and how many times the ball gets hit to him at short.
Yeah,
but they're big players, man. Big players, big misses.
Well, they got to find a way around it. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Jays, you can't have excuses now. You got to go in tomorrow and win a game.
The difficult thing is everything was so perfect. It was like everybody was hot at the plate.
But it was.
And you just said they got to. They were all doing everything, and then all of a sudden, it's like the batteries wore out, and it's like, what the heck happened, man?
Well, the Savage thing, he had the perfect start, literally
Best start of all
best
time.
start of all time. You had to think that Seattle's going. We got to get to this guy.
He's going to come back down to earth.
Exactly. Like that was the first bit of adversity that he hasn't been able to kind of battle through. Although
Well, he even had the stuff with his parents, and he addressed it, and it was just
That wasn't a good sign. That again,
No.
it had obviously been wearing on him.
yeah.
And I'm sure that was Yankee fans or.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it was Blue Jay fans. It certainly wasn't Blue Jay media or anything like that. Everyone's
Right.
been propping him up, ever since he arrived. But that was unexpected. I can tell you, being down there, everyone was like, I don't think I've seen this before. Someone
Right.
taking the mic and basically saying, before you start, I'm making a statement on this. That never happens. These guys walk up to the podium and are basically like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, get Keegan to ask a question and whoever else and let me get out of here. And he took the floor and talked about his parents, and girlfriend, and brothers, and going at them and giving.
I didn't even see anything on Twitter about that, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously it's going through his own filter, whatever.
Right. And that's tough. And for a young guy where, like everything's coming at you quick, man, that's a completely different element.
That's
too.
the thing, though. It shows that it got to him. It
Yes.
shows that it's the wrong word to say, but it shows some immaturity in that sense where it's allowing him. You got to fake it to make it. And everything was perfect for him. And, you walk off, get the call
Curtain
out,
call,
curtain
everything,
call,
yep.
everything. And then there's some adversity. You got to fight through that, too. He's got some swagger, but, you got to fight through that.
Yeah. And last night he was getting hit. Like he got hit,
yeah.
man. And he needed Varland to come in and get him out of the jam, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Game 3 tomorrow night. All right, Mike Johnson from the rink. Leafs Preds tonight on TSN. We'll catch up with Johnny in about 20 minutes. Confirm or deny coming up as well. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Mike Johnson in about 15 minutes. Leafs Preds tonight. Habs signing Lane Hudson to an 8-year deal. Under $9 million per. Got less than Luke Hughes. Got less than that Lacombe kid out in
Which is
Anaheim.
fine. Don't you just think? I like the fact that the kid said, I like playing here. This is the number I'm going to take. And it's not like McDavid settling or whatever, but he just said, this is what I'm going to sign. And I'm fine with it.
Win-win. Like the organization, 3 years from now, when the cap is at $120 million or whatever it's going to be, it's going to be a bargain. This kid has a trajectory to be very special. And it's not like he's signed for $3 million.
It's not peanuts.
$9 million a year, and he's a hell of a player. And he's given himself, because he's so young, he's going to have another 8-year deal that might be 20 a year if the guy's a superstar and won a Norris and done all these things that everybody projects him to do. He's not underpaid, but I think it's a win based on where salaries are going. That's the biggest thing. People in Ottawa are like, well, Jake Sanderson makes $1 million less than him and has 7 years left on his deal.
People are going to be doing that all the time.
Pretty
with
good
these
deal.
contracts, though.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's more about what anyone else sets the bar at.
Right.
If that player is perceived to be better
or below.
and you're like, how does this work? And that's what this is. Like Luke Hughes is a good player in Jersey. He's a really good player.
I think Lane Hudson.
But Lane Hudson just won the Calder.
Yeah.
And he took less. So it just comes off as this brilliant play by Montreal. What the Habs have done very, very well, and we'll see how it all plays out. 8 years is a long, long time to make a projection on anybody.
Yep.
But they got Suzuki for 8, Caulfield for 8, Hudson for 8,
Slavkovsky.
Dobson for 8, Slavkovsky for 8. Now, we'll see. Again, they're not all going to work out.
No.
But none of them are exorbitant. Like Dobson, I believe, is making the most money out of anybody.
Yeah.
And they've got Demidov coming up, and we'll see what happens with him. And again, that's a long ways away. But if the cap, again, in 3 or 4 years is 120 plus, and they've got their core locked up at very, very good deals,
8,
then all of a
9
sudden,
deals. Like, yeah,
they can have tons of flexibility.
Yeah.
But their
Go out
core's
there.
got to win something for it to be worth it. If they just
Absolutely.
keep getting pumped in the first round, there's no sense of saying, oh, we got our core locked up.
Yeah,
For
Got to
sure.
do something.
You're right.
And that's why you can't guarantee. They're not all going to likely be here in 8 years.
Right.
It's not going to work out for everybody that everyone gets signed and everyone's just kumbaya and you win cups. And that's what they're hoping for, clearly. But I think it's smart practice. I think it makes sense to get out in front of it, even if you feel a little uncomfortable on the front end. If it pays off on the back end, you got these guys in their prime making
Lock up the guys
good
you
money.
want. Lock up the guys you want. That's really what
that
it
you've
is.
drafted and developed, too. That's what
Exactly.
Ken Hughes said today.
Yeah. These deals will look great. The Nick Suzuki deal looks amazing right now.
Yeah,
because we're
Suzuki's
seeing it.
brilliant.
Caulfield's a player. Like, they're all fine. It just, they're not making an exorbitant amount. But you're right. At some point, if it doesn't win, they're going to have to adjust. They'll have to trade one of them or something like that. But they all look pretty good, and they're all like very good players that haven't reached their ceiling yet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Good luck trading any of them. The way
Well,
these
I mean,
deals are done now,
think
nobody's
it's-
going
No
in.
one,
You're right.
no one moves.
You're right.
Yeah, for the most part, no one
I was
moves.
just going to say, Ottawa ended up trading Josh Norris, who was part of a long-term deal on that, like in that core there. They moved away from him, got
Yep.
Dylan Cousins.
Yeah,
No?
worked out pretty well for them right now.
Well, right now.
Norris
I mean,
might be done again for the year.
Norris.
Weird. It's something happens off the face-offs where he just
Yeah.
must come out or something. It's awful to see.
It is Buffalo. It's really ugly. Like jerseys on the ice, I think already, and it's just gross down there.
Yeah. I think
Gross.
Paige Thompson came out and he said, our fans just need to relax a little bit. And I was like,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Not good.
All right, hour 2 coming up. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Jays down 0-2 off to Seattle. Game 3 tomorrow night. You
for a
got the
3-pack.
for a 3-pack. 3-pack. They did sweep in Seattle back in May,
Oh, yeah.
right? They did sweep. And I've noticed some people out in Vancouver and BC, there's this big debate. Are the Jays Canada's team? Are they not? Is it more of a Mariners
I
market?
think it's Canada's team. And
They try to advocate that.
There's always a ton of Jays. I don't think there will be. Do you think there'll be a ton of Jays? I don't think there will be.
I think there'll be a lot of Jays fans that go down from Vancouver, don't you think?
I just think
I
it's
think our
tough to
buddy
get.
Ray Ferraro will be down there. Should ask Ray.
I don't think Ray's making that trip. Ray's not a Blue Jay fan. Ray doesn't care about the Jays.
I don't know.
He's a Red Sox fan.
He is a Red Sox fan, but maybe he was just pandering to his crowd. I watched one of his games the other day.
100% he
Oh,
would have.
Seattle would be great for
I love those
fans
Jays.
to go down. Like, you know what? I can see through it now.
Oh,
I think it was
right
Ray
through it.
pandering to his crowd.
100%. Because he was texting me the other day chirping about the Jays. I'm like, where's your team? They're not playing. Where are the Sox? They didn't even get through the wild card round.
Pandering to his audience there.
Yes.
That's what he was doing.
So, but I don't think if you're in Seattle and you have tickets, why would you sell them? It's Game 3 of the championship series, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess you can find secondary markets, and if you're willing to pay a lot of money, there will be Blue Jay fans there for sure.
Yes.
I just don't think it's going to be like the regular season series.
I
where
Well, they're not
so
going to
many
any
show up.
extent saying we don't want these people in the building. Like, didn't the Sens do something where they're like, we don't want the Leafs fans in this building for
Yeah.
playoffs?
Tampa, like
Yeah.
there was other, like I think wasn't it Tampa had that too?
I think they tried to. I think Buffalo has
Buffalo. Like, there's been a
thought of
few.
it before.
But my understanding, every time I've watched the Jays play in Seattle, I've always felt like a lot of
Tons
Blue
of
Jays
fans
go down.
Oh, totally.
But that's regular season,
That's
right?
that's what I'm saying. Regular season, there's tickets available.
Right.
Ticket holders are probably like, go ahead if you want to pay me twice the price, I'll take your money. Playoffs, I just think is different. I think people in Seattle are going to be there to support the team. So I don't think it's going to be nearly as crazy as Blue Jay fans are thinking or hoping. And I know a lot of the players were talking about that. Like, we should expect a lot of fans, and it's possible, but I'll believe it when I see it.
They don't have a dome either, and I guarantee you it'll rain one of those games.
Probably will. You're right. Something will be complicated.
Weather sucks out in Seattle. There's a lot of rain there.
It was weird. Dome closed game 1, and then Dome was open yesterday. And it was windy, man. It was not like it was a beautiful night, but
it wasn't 30.
That's
degrees.
what cost the Jays.
Yeah, exactly.
Dome was open. Dome closed yesterday. It's tied 1-1, heading back to Seattle. All right, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline, live from the rink that is covered with a roof tonight. Here's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst. What's happening, Johnny?
What's going on, boys? From my office here between the benches, I thought you'd, come on in and just hang out for the next few hours.
I love it. I love it. So, what's the mood like down there with the Leafies 3 games in, where they're 1-2 and they didn't play great opening night, but they found a way to get 2 points? What are you picking up on being around the team?
I think there's a little unease with the reality that is obviously very early, and drawing any massive conclusions is premature, to say the least. But the acknowledgement that they haven't played that well. And preseason or the games last game, yesterday they played well. I mean, they outshot them by a ton. They had the puck a lot. It wasn't perfect, but it was a good game. But pretty much part of that, it hasn't really been a good game. So I think they're still looking to find whatever their version of their best game is, and what that and how that operates, and what the lines will be, and stylistically, power play, all these different things. And I think no one's talked about it, guys. But the idea that no one wants to talk about Mitch Marner anymore. Totally fair. I get it. You got to move on. Forget it. But if they're not scoring, the power play is not going, and your top goal scorer is not scoring, the guy who plays with them usually, then it's sort of going to creep up, and they'd like to get a win, play well, have those guys score, and put all that stuff behind them again and get moving forward. So it's a bit of unease because they know they haven't been great.
Johnny, you just said stylistically. What do you think they're going to morph into when they get cooking as far as beating you? There's so many things missing, and it's like every game there's a different part missing. You don't know what it looks like when it comes together. When it does, how is it stylistically going to look when they overwhelm teams, if they can get to that?
Well, see, overwhelm might be out a little optimistic. I think just maybe try to carry the play 50-50 at this point is something more likely. I think it's going to be sort of a more of a grindy kind of team, more board play, dumping it in, retrievals, forechecks, secondary possessions, points to the net, crash bang, get it back, do it again, wear them down. I think that's what Craig Berube wants to see. I don't know if this team's personality or maybe even personnel is wired to play that way, but I think that's what they're trying to get to. But it hasn't been that way really for the start of the year and through most of training camp. They haven't found that. They've been not good in their own end. They've given up tons and tons of chances, and they got to clean that up. But they haven't generated a whole bunch either. And their best players haven't been great. Like, you look around the league, look at the top scorers of the league. It's all the best players. It's McKinnon, it's Eichel, it's Kaprizov. It's all the best guys. And if you're going to have best guys on your team, they have to be really consistent in their production. And so far for Toronto, it hasn't quite happened.
Johnny, speaking of best guys, what do you make of, Chiefs' comments about William Nylander? And, what do you think he needs to do to be a little bit more effective?
Not surprising. These two have a honest relationship, and a good one. And Craig Berube is not afraid to tell William Nylander both privately or on the bench or in the media exactly what he thinks of his game. Now, he doesn't, come across overly negative, but he makes it known that he's not happy, and he's not happy, nor should he be. William Nylander hasn't played well. He's got 3 shots in 3 games. And I know he has 4 points, but that is misleading. He hasn't played 2 of them on empty nets. He hasn't played like he can, like he has to. What's he got to do? He's got to skate. He's got to skate to go get the puck. He's got to skate to get in position to retrieve it. He's got to skate to get it back. And when he moves, we've seen it. You can't get it off him once he has it, but you got to work to get it in spots that you want to go to work with. And that's what Craig Berube is talking about.
Well, that's got to be the frustrating part, Johnny, is that Craig Berube, as many conversations as these guys have had, it goes back to the same one. If you're not skating and working, you're not doing your job, and you're not effective. Sooner or later, he's got to be like, I can't keep having this conversation with you.
What do you do, though? What's the alternative? I guess you can sit him. You can take his ice away. You take him off the power play. I think William Nylander and the way that he plays and occasionally sort of drifts in and out of maximum sort of intensity, not care, but intensity. That I feel is going to be part of his reality for the entire time here. I don't know if that's ever going to change. That's just who he is. So I'm not sure. I think you got to poke and prod and beg and plead and cajole to try to get him to do what you want him to do. Because when he does, he's one of the best players in the world.
Well, and he's so connected to John Tavares as well. And I think it's more lopsided. Like JT has not looked great, right? He hasn't contributed a lot. He doesn't seem to have the puck a lot through 3 games. And I think he needs Willie. Like, he needs Willie to open up lanes for him and create and give him a couple freebies around the net. And again, John's going to be here for a long time now. Yeah. And he's still a very good player. But if the two of them are going to play predominantly together for the next 3 or 4 years, the onus is going to swing even more towards Willie. Like, it's not going to balance out. It's going to, like...
You got to drive things.
Yes. Like, that's kind of the plan here. It's like Austin will do his thing on the first line. You got to do your thing on the second. You have to.
You're right. But, MJ, I'll let you jump in. But don't you think at some point in John's contract, the second line center shouldn't be there on his job description?
I think you're right. But this year it likely will be.
Yes. But I'm saying, like, John's going to get his game going. But, MJ, you weigh in. But, like, it's I think you're going to ask, like, he's going to be 35, 36, 37. Like, it's Father Time catches you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, eventually he'll get slid down. He should be. And if he's not the third line center by the time he's 37, 38, the Leafs are in trouble, right? But Hayes, that's absolutely right. Willie has to drive that line. He's got to be the transporter. And I think it's Michelli going there tonight, although they do jumble the lines quite a bit. Michelli, while crafty, is not a super speedy transporter either. He's sort of a guy who finds space and makes plays. So the guy who's got to get it, advance it, get it in the offensive zone, get things going so his other talented line mates can do what they do well, is William Nylander. And I would expect him to have a good game. The thing about Willie is that, generally speaking, when he's challenged, he doesn't pout, doesn't get upset. He just goes out there and plays well and tells everyone to leave me alone. So I would expect him to be pretty good in this game.
So Easton Cowan goes healthy scratch, top line.
Right.
I didn't see that one coming, personally. What do you make of that logic, and how do you think he looked, and what would you expect? How long do you think the leash will be with Matthews and Knies?
So, I mean, you'd like to say you're putting a guy in a position to be successful, right? That's what they always say about young guys. Don't play him on the fourth line if he's going to be a first-line player. But that's not really the case in this situation. I think it's more of a function of the other guys that were taking runs there, Michelli or McMahon or Max or whoever. It wasn't quite working, so there was an opportunity with an injury to put a guy in there. We know about the issues at centerman depth with Scotty Lawton out. So I thought he was good. Like, he made plays. Now, he played in a game against Detroit where Detroit was dominated. So, yes, I see shots were 10-0 Toronto with that line on the ice together. And then scoring chances were 9-0 and attempts were 18-5. I get all that stuff. Now, you got to be productive, and you got to be able to do it every game. Tonight will be a better test, Hayes, I think, and you guys could talk about it. Positional player. Like, your first game, it is all adrenaline, right? Like, it is all energy and emotion, and the London Knights and his parents and everyone's there to see him. Now, game 2 is the next day. It comes at you quick. Like, you got to have the same juice, the same play, and better to stay on that line, because if they don't score, Matthew Knies is not going anywhere. And Austin Matthews not going anywhere. The guy who's going to get swapped out would be Easton Cowan. So we'll see what he does there. But for one game, he was pretty good. I'm leery of looking to a rookie to ignite that line. Like, that shouldn't be his responsibility. He's trying to fit in. Those guys should ignite themselves. But, yeah, we'll see how he does today. He looks smart and capable, and we'll see if he can do it again and maybe be a bit more productive in actually producing points.
I think he's going to realize that you just said producing points, Johnny. That's what it's all about. It comes down to, because I heard him talking after the game. He said, I felt pretty good. I got some chances. It's going to come down to production from him and the superstar he's playing with. And I think the one thing he needs to feel or see happen is, and I live this, when things get tense and the coach feels like he really needs a goal, he pulls you off the line and he puts somebody else out there. Right. That's when he understands that maybe he's not the guy for that job. Or the power play goes out there and your two line mates are on the power play and you're not. You feel, should I even really be there? I played with Brendan Shanahan and Nelson Emerson. Shanny had 45 goals. Nelson Emerson had 30, and I had like 9 points. It was a weird dynamic where they were producing at all different facets of the game, and I was like,
that's a bad feeling.
It is. It's like I'm just a filler
feeling.
5-on-5 once in a while. I got to play defense in my own zone. I got to try to set them up for goals. Come power play, you're gone. Critical situations, you're gone. And it's weird to look at the stat sheet at the end of the season. I got 10 points.
Yeah.
And they got 44 goals and 30. How's that possible?
That is almost, it seems impossible almost. But I think what you're saying is he needs Matthews to score tonight.
Yes.
Like
and get an assist off of
even if his feet like just hit the ice. Like he on a chain.
He had +1.
He's on the ice in the goals.
The scrub.
Like in the scrub, exactly. He needs Matthews to get cooking so that line can possibly have some mojo. He can remain a part of it tonight.
It's got to be one of those ones where, when you make a change, guys, and then like when the team scores, the guy who just stepped on the ice immediately retreats to the bench to give the guy who made the change the plus. Cowan's going right in the pile. He's like, I'm not coming off for anyone. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm part of this one. This is me. Although he was on the ice at the end of the game, right? 6-on-5, which, to your point, like he did.
Yeah, that was good for him.
He was given that kind of service. So again, and that, I don't know if that says as much about his game or maybe just the other
others.
sort of offensive-minded players are not really cooking just yet. So they got to get going that direction. But I don't know. I've watched them play all the games they played, guys, and they're not particularly organized just yet. They're not that sharp, giving up a lot of chances, a lot of zone play. Stolarz has been pretty good. Won't love maybe one of the goals last game, but they just have been giving up too much. They can't play on their own end that much. So if the strength of this team is goaltending defense, the same 6 guys that were, a top 10 team defensively last year, they got to clean that up. That would then allow them to have the puck more, maybe go score a little bit more.
So Lane Hudson signs an 8-year extension, which will kick in next year. And then, I know, it's a good cap hit, good number, team friendly. We don't have to go down that road again. I thought of it.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick, though. This is my rebuttal, though, not to you per se. So let's just say, for argument's sake, he left 10% on the table. He could have got 10, he took 9. Let's just say, roughly, okay?
Yep.
So if this is the atmosphere and the culture they're fostering, I saw that Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton just signed 5-year extensions. Do you think they left 10% on the table so they could hire another pro scout or the sports science group could have a little bit more to doctor up better meals? I'm just saying, if that's the atmosphere we're going with,
they're not in a cap world.
I got it, but it's not about the numbers. It's about the philosophy. It's about the spirit behind it, not about the actual numbers. Do you think they offered that up, Hayes?
Probably not, but I don't know that. I don't know for sure. Maybe
I
they did.
don't know either.
Maybe they did. Maybe it's
They
possible
each
they
signed
did.
for $5 million each, and all you can eat at St. Hubert.
That's possible too. And I would
that'd
take
be
it.
nice.
Like Kramer, I'd
Extra
pounce
gravy.
on that. 100%.
Sure, the peas and the gravy, so good.
But they got their extension too. They're there for the next 5 years.
They didn't force him to do it. It was like, hey, you want it or not?
Well, and what was established by Hughes and Gordon was everyone's got to sign 8 years. Like it would appear to me, Johnny, as if that was what they were emphasizing for. Like, we need all of you to sign, because they all did. Suzuki signed for 8. Slavkovsky, I believe, for 8. Maybe it was 7, but I think it was 8. Caulfield was 8. Hudson's 8. Dobson got 8.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, to me, I get it. It's everything's a gamble. And as Lou Lamoriello would say, the second you sign it, like, it's too much money, too long a term. But that is more of the culture that sticks out to me, and I think that's really, really wise. And again, it doesn't always have to come back here. But Austin could only do 5, and Mitch, I'll do 6, and Willie. If those guys all sign 8-year deals, they'd still be on those contracts. Willie'd still be making, I believe, like 6.8 for another year,
whatever it was. Yeah,
but none of them did it, and that's Dubas and Shanahan that screwed that up. Let me clarify that. But the 8-year deal, like, I like it. You're kind of locked in now. But what do you make of this core in Montreal? I guess you could throw Demidov in. I don't know if Montembeau's going to be there for 8 years. I would doubt it, but as of now, he's their starter.
Mix in Caden Gooley.
Caden Gooley, exactly. Is this a burgeoning cup contending team? Like, is that where you see this going? How much more do they have to do in Montreal to get to that level, in your opinion?
In not cup contending yet, but they're really good, and they're only going to get better. And what's different about the Lou Lamoriello philosophy now, Hayes, the second you sign a contract, now you're underpaid. With the cap going up, now you're underpaid. And that's why they're in a good spot, because Suzuki's making what, 7, 8, 5 or something like that, and Caulfield just below him. He's grossly underpaid. So the next 3, 4, 5 years, their top 5, 6 players are going to be $1 million to $5 million underpaid. That adds up to $15, $18 million total. Montreal can go to the cap. They have the financial resources to do it. And $18 million gets you a lot of good players in today's NHL. And maybe those 1 or 2, 3 extra guys are enough to put them over the top when they finally get there. They're not there just yet. But they got this Cam Fowler and net supposed to be unbelievable. They have a lot of pieces and a lot of runway where you sort of know, okay, this is what we have. This is what it's costing us. And it's not costing us, relatively speaking, that much. And we can work around the others. And they got Brendan Gallagher and Josh Anderson contracts coming off the books who haven't been, maybe great value for those deals. So they are positioned well. Now, to get to the next stage, Suzuki's a star. Absolutely star player. He is that for sure. Lane Hudson is a star offensive defenseman. It's hard to win without a super duper star, right? Like, it's just hard to do. Mm-hmm. And do they have that? Is it Demidov? Is it Suzuki? Is it Caulfield? Is it Hudson? I'm not quite sure. And you can't really go and acquire those guys very easily because none of them leave their teams. But that's what they need, Hayes. Like 1 or 2 other impact players. And if they get that, you look at the East, you look at the Atlantic, you look where things are going. In 2 years, it would not be a stretch to say, oh, they may have the best roster in the division.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, at some point, Florida's going to get old. The Leafs are getting old. Yeah. Like, if this sets Tampa, them up for 8 years, exactly. Tampa, Vasilevsky will be done, or Hedman will be done. And you're almost thinking in 2 or 3 years, you're ready to pop in Montreal.
And keep in mind what Johnny just said. The value of their contracts is going to leave some flexibility. They might be able to go big game hunting for a star unrestricted free agent
if
player.
They ever get to free agency.
If they do. But you might be able to grab somebody in free agency that could be a difference maker as well.
Big time.
If you have that type of money because you've managed your money with your contracts.
It's really good work, man. It's really good work. And, you look at...
when I read it, Hayes, the first guy I thought of after Hudson, I'm like, good for him. I'm like, damn it, Hayes. He'll be smiling ear to ear.
Everyone, hey, team guys.
Taking less. Just like what you're supposed to.
They want to win.
Do you think the 2 management guys signed the extension, Johnny, if they didn't get in last year? Like, would that be happening today, you think?
I think they've built a good program. You're saying from Montreal.
I think they would have got it. But maybe timing. Oh, maybe they wait for him to get done whenever. If he got done in March, then the extensions get done in April. Maybe you're right. But they're riding high right now in Montreal. They're riding high. There hasn't been a lot gone wrong the last couple of years. It's all optimism and positivity. And even when they don't play great, it's still, look at our team. Look, we're all signed up. Look at the value. Look how good we're going to be. Proof's in the pudding, though. Like, that'd be good on the ice, and that's where it matters most.
Absolutely. Brady Tkachuk out long term. They're saying, it sounds like at least a month. If he has surgery, I'm guessing that would be even longer than that. What does this do to the psyche of that team? You talk about a guy who is the identity of a team.
The heartbeat. The heartbeat.
Yes. He kind of like when Chara was to Boston forever, right? That's what Brady is in Ottawa.
Yeah, in the room, on the bench, on the road, on the ice. It's all of it, Hayes. And it's massive, massive. And he's a unique player where he does stuff that, only a handful of guys that can do in the league, that can score, play, and also be there to stick up for his teammates. It's brutal. And I'm thinking, okay, surgery, does that bleed into, if it's 2 or 3 months, start thinking about the Olympics? I know his family, he would be thinking, I got to make the Olympic team. 1 month is not a problem. 2 or 3 becomes that. And Ottawa, as positive as many of us are about their team, they're not so great that they can have a massive slump or lose a bunch of their best players and expect to make the playoffs. So it's going to be tight with Brady Tkachuk in the lineup. You take him out and what that might mean for a team that can't score that well to begin with, it's troubling. Other guys will have to step up. And Tim Stützle is a guy that you watch and you're like, this guy's great, but sometimes he leaves you wanting more. For the next month, he's got to be like the star player he can be in Brady's absence.
Is that the guy for you, Noodles? Stützle? I would look at Ullmark and say, there can't be any, I'm not feeling like he's got to.
Trying my best.
Sure.
Yeah, it's Stützle for me. And
trying my best.
And I think they're getting Batherson back, too, which was help. But, you're right. Brady is such a unicorn. Like, there's him and Tom Wilson are 35 goal scorers that fight and do it all type of thing. Mm-hmm. Great leaders, all of that. But I look at it, and it is going to have to be by committee, but you're right. I think it is Tim Stützle that you circle and go, that's the guy who had 92 points as a 20-year-old. He's got to be a point a game or better. That's the way I look at it.
And their defense is pretty good, too, right? Like Sanderson, you got to play 30 minutes a night. Cleven's
but the
good.
goalie is the goalie, you know?
Yeah.
He's got to play well.
Yeah.
Man, that's a weird vibe to grab it out of the air and then tuck it between your legs and throw it between your legs on the ice. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
There's been some weird goals, Johnny. I mean, I felt bad. I haven't talked to you, but that San Jose, that Alex Nedeljkovic, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart to watch that on the replay.
That's tough sledding. That's a tough one to shake off. Like, you got to hit all your resources to get clear of that one. And talk about ice time, talk about third. How about our boy Matthew Schaefer? 27 a game in New York.
He's
Patrick
the franchise
play
already.
The wheels off that kid. Is he their best player? He's 3 games in. He's barely 18 years old. Is he their best player? I mean, Sorokin probably is, and maybe Matthew Barzal. But after those two, I don't know.
Yeah, he is.
He looks really good. He's very good.
And Sorokin's not making saves right now. So
no, they're going right through his crest somehow, right through the middle of his chest. I don't know how it happens.
I know. That was it. Who scored? Was it Sandberg or who scored the goal?
Big Logan Stanley.
Yes, Logan Stanley.
Right in the middle of his chest. I didn't
only goal of the year.
It's one a year.
Yeah.
It's one a year.
Career. Yeah.
It's one a year, and it went right through him.
Have you placed eyes on Alex Ovechkin at all? Like, Ovi is motoring around. Someone ran into him the other night.
Right in front of the net?
And I thought that guy was going to go through the ice. Was it Cizikas?
Cizikas bounced off him.
Ran into him.
He went into the stands.
He is huge out there, and they're off to a good start, but I'm curious what we think is going to happen with Ovi. Like, he has been known to have great starts, and he's known to have slow starts.
Who knows what his summer was like after breaking the record, too?
I guess that's what I'm wondering.
I thought he looked good, Hayes.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to you. When I saw the obligatory soccer playing pictures this summer from over in Russia, I thought he looked actually lighter than normal. Like, he looks like when he gets up there, he gets like 250-ish. And it looked like he was more like 230-ish, which for him is probably appropriate. I just think everything in Washington is going to be harder this year. Everything. Like, the whole thing is just going to be harder. It's just not going to go as seamlessly as it has in last year. So does that mean 35 goals if he plays 80 games, which would still be incredible for a guy who's 40 years old, go through 900? Probably. That's what I would guess. I don't know. Set the over-under at 36.5. I don't know. What would you take?
Yeah, that probably still makes sense. It's tough to bet against him. I mean, he's proven that year.
He looks like he's enjoyed those Subway and chips, I'll tell you that.
He looks like it could be his last tour, and it's like, let's just kind of ease into this. And they're off to a pretty good start in Washington.
He's Ovi, though. He gets around out
It doesn't matter with him. Like, he's gonna set up shop in his office, and he's gonna score goals.
Yeah.
But I am curious, like him and Sid, it's still like, what is this going to look like the rest of the year?
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh's been okay. You know, they've been okay.
They've looked good. They've actually looked pretty good.
I don't think it's going to matter in the end, but they've been off to a decent start. All right, Johnny. Well, we'll catch you on TSN 4 tonight. The Preds in town coming off a win yesterday. They've been winning, at least, racking up some points. So
goalie driven. Saros has been ridiculously good. He's not playing tonight. We got a backup battle. Annunen and Caden Primo making his debut for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Should be an interesting one.
All right. We'll catch you on TSN 4 tonight. Thank you, Johnny.
All right, boy.
There he is. Ooh, quick cutoff. I like that. Joe from the Bridge, you're out.
Yeah.
Mike Johnson joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Get in and go where adventures take you in a new 2025 Tacoma from Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland in the Maple Auto Mall. Visit mapletoyota.com.
Justus Annunen.
That's who's in net for Nashville tonight?
Is that the guy from Colorado?
Yeah. They got him from Colorado. I think he was like Scott Wedgwood got traded there for Annunen.
Mm-hmm.
But that Annunen is like, he's got a huge bucket on him. Like huge.
See what he's got tonight. And Jack Roslovic making his debut for Edmonton tonight in New York.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he's playing, I think, on the second line. I think they have Draisaitl on the top line with McDavid.
Well, they moved Mangiapane up.
He's got 2 goals in 2 games, right?
Pretty decent. But that Roslovic, that's where he's got to play. He's got to play in your top 9. He can't play fourth line. He's too small, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to play higher up. We'll see how he settles in.
Yeah.
But I didn't see who's starting. Is our buddy.
Yeah, I get it, but Skinner, that third goal would still bother me so much against
It would take me a month to get over it.
Especially if you got the minus on that. You're skating back to that?
Yeah. With your stick up, you're like, here, I'm open.
Throw it over
Just
here.
pass me the puck, please.
Yeah. If you shoot a minus on that, you're
You'd be
pissed.
furious about that.
Yeah.
All right, Skinner, on Broadway tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Leafs Preds tonight on TSN 4. Little panel work for you guys. Enjoy that this evening. Confirm and deny coming up. Best bets coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Boston trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
All right, confirm and deny. Statements are made. We either confirm them or we deny them. Very simple stuff.
Yep.
Very simple stuff. Let's begin with a Vladdy Jr. confirm or deny. Vladdy Jr. needs a big, big performance in Game 3, or all that goodwill from the Yankees series will fade away.
I'm going to deny it. Here's why. Because if they'd lose to Seattle, a month from now when you reflect on the season, you're going to go, pretty darn good season. 94 wins, you take down the Yankees, just ran into a good team in Seattle, you say. What are your most memorable moments of the season? It's Vladdy's Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
So if you remove emotion and you go a month from now and you look back, that, it's still kind of a legacy moment for him. I remember the bat flip. I remember the Grand Slam. So that's where I'm softening it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. A month from now.
A month from now.
Now I will confirm this tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow night, it will no longer be, wow, that was a lot of fun against the Yankees.
Right.
Now, what can save him is, even if Vladdy doesn't have a great night, that doesn't mean the team loses.
Right.
Right? Other guys can show up. Maybe Bieber has a great night. The bullpen contributes the way they're supposed to. And ultimately, what Vladdy needs is wins. I mean, what has been proven here is big moments, they come when you win.
Right.
You have to have the two together.
Right.
And I think it's happened quickly here. It's only 2 games. But if they got a split and Vladdy hadn't racked up a hit, it wouldn't be as telling. It wouldn't be as noticeable. But it's the fact that they've lost both games at home and Vladdy just has not contributed the way he has shown that he can. I think you go down, if they lose, Vladdy doesn't play well, he's going to take necessary heat.
Right.
Reasonable heat.
Yeah.
But I think you're being very reasonable in terms of the big picture and long term because, again, they're in the championship series. That's as far as Bautista went.
Exactly.
No one remembers how Bautista hit against Kansas City.
Right.
In the championship series in 15. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't.
But I remember the bat flip in Game 5 of the DS against Texas.
Right.
Right? I don't remember what Donaldson was doing in 16. And, we don't really remember that. We remember Edwin walking off Baltimore in the wild card game.
Right.
So I do think his big playoff moments have been established. Can't take those away from him.
Right.
But in the moment,
he needs it.
He's got to contribute, man.
I get it.
He's got to contribute. You have to have your best players play well.
Yes.
If you want to go all the way to the World Series, if you want to win a World Series,
right,
your best players have got to be consistently great.
They've got their work cut out for them, isn't there?
They definitely do.
Isn't it I think there's a record. There's only 3 teams that have lost the first 2 at home and actually come back to win. 3 teams in all of baseball
it's
ever.
Not overly optimistic statistic that is currently hanging over this team.
Savage said this is a special team. Don't count us out.
And they have proven that all year.
Right.
To their credit.
Yeah.
All year, even when they were running off, crazy win streaks and they were kind of running away with the American League East, there was always an element of, are they actually going to get this done?
Exactly.
And they kept coming back. And whenever they got hit, they'd get up off the mat. Now, what, again, is, I think, difficult for a lot of Blue Jay fans is you were kind of always uncertain what was going to happen during the year. They end up winning the AL East.
Right.
the Yankees, big bad Yankees. What's going to happen? They find a way to win the Yankees. And then you get into this scenario, you're like, oh, I actually think they're going to win. And now they lose, right? And again, Seattle's a very good team. Very good team.
Don't you think there's some demons against Seattle that you've got to exercise? Like
yes, the wild card was, we all know what happened a few years ago.
It was 8-1.
It was 8-1 in game 2, and they found a way to lose that game. Now, maybe they owe Seattle. You're right, though.
Maybe this is their retribution tour. They get down 2 or 3-0 and storm back.
And Seattle hasn't won anything.
Right.
They haven't been in the championship series since 2001, I believe.
Right.
So they've never won a World Series. So
maybe they're
going home, and maybe they start thinking,
yeah, they've got it.
Either you get a little bit too comfortable, or you start thinking, well, now you got to win.
Yeah.
And that can go against you. So we'll see what comes of it tomorrow night. But Vladdy's got to be great, regardless of how people feel, short-term, long-term, whatever. Vladdy's got to be better.
He does.
Confirm or deny, it's too early for the Maple Leaf Stars to be taking heat.
Yeah, I'm going to confirm that. Listen,
3 games.
3 games.
I think Matthews has been fine. He's got to score.
Right.
Like, it's frustrating when you keep seeing, wow, look at all these scoring opportunities and all these shot attempts, and, hey, you rifled one off the bar. Yeah. Yes, we know, but Austin, you got to score, man.
Yeah,
just like Vladdy. Exit velocity doesn't count. You got to score.
It is early, but you're right. There is a little asterisk beside it saying, like, you've got to – I'd like to see a little better. What you're doing is – I didn't love them through the preseason and through the first 3 games. I think they're still finding their way, finding their game. The league has been so sloppy, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have been as well. Sloppy. Just not crisp, not sharp, not fast, like not into it yet. I'd like to see them get into a groove. But it is early to have their stars taking heat, but that comes with the business.
Hey, it's Toronto.
With the paycheck.
Yeah, it's the National Hockey League. It's Toronto. And honestly, the Leafs have had kind of cover here with the Jays.
Yes.
Jays have taken up a lot of the attention of the market.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Like the Leafs just had one of the more quiet preseasons and camps I can recall.
Yes.
Just no one was really paying attention to them. Just go about your business and whatever. Yep. We'll see you when you show up. And Jays are here, and Jays are going to the playoffs, and they're playing the Yankees.
Like I say, Jays lost 2 on the weekend. The Leafs lost 2. People are like, yeah, but I'm more concerned about the Jays.
Of course,
in the
playoffs.
Playoffs,
yeah. Like the Leafs will be fine. I still believe they're going to be fine, but it has not been a good start. I'll confirm it's still too early.
Yeah,
but again,
they need more.
They need more. Marner's not here anymore. Like you just want everyone to move past it. You can't keep saying and asking to move past it.
Right.
When you're not scoring goals, power play doesn't look great. You're losing.
Right. You gotta find a way.
Play yourself to a point where no one cares what anyone else is doing.
Where it is in the past.
Yes. Yeah. And that is going to have to happen. 3 games in, maybe not. 4 games, probably not. But not much more time.
Right.
You get 5, 6, 7 games in.
Thing is, though, they've got 5 games in 7 nights or whatever, 8 nights. Like it happens quick.
Yes, it does. And next week, I believe it is, they have a home and home with Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
Which I would circle as like, where are you? How's everything going? And what happens? You know what I mean?
Friday, Saturday, 24th, 25th.
Yes.
That's
one of those scenarios where if they're like 2-5 and not playing great, and then Buffalo beats you, people start freaking out.
It gets noisy after that. But let's see.
We're not putting the cart before the horse on that one.
No.
All right. Confirm or deny, the ALCS will, in fact, return to Toronto. This series is still going at least 6. I know, it's tough to confirm after what we just saw. I'll go first. I'm going to confirm it. I think they can get 2 in Seattle. I think they can.
I think
they come back down 3-2.
I was just doing my math. I'm like, okay, if they win 2, they still come back
alive.
for game 6.
I don't believe they're going out there and winning 3. I don't see that happening. Castillo's going to get a start. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Scherzer's going to start game 4, which who knows what you're going to see in that. But I think get tomorrow and you're coming home.
Yes.
Down 3-2, likely, but I'm going to confirm.
I'll confirm it too.
The dome will not be shut down yet.
It's wishful. It's also a little bit of wishful thinking and hoping, but I do see a pathway where they can win 2 of 3 there.
I think
absolutely.
Yes, their bats. Again, we'll see what happens with Santander.
Well, this guy,
Shed is not coming back.
Trust on that guy is a little lean, but just Vladdy get going. Springer continue.
Barsher. Kirk's been okay. He hasn't been great either through 2 games.
I think their weekend went very quick for them. It was a quick turnaround and a little bit overwhelming.
Yes.
It's like, hey, we're coming off the high of the Yankees. We're just going to show up, and Seattle's going to hand it to us. That wasn't the case. Seattle came to play.
Yep.
And I think it overwhelmed them a little bit. They're not going to be overwhelmed in Seattle.
Right. Long flight.
Go play.
Day off today. Now you're on the road.
And go
figure
play.
it out. And again, they like that park. Like
Yeah.
they seem to like that park. It's a loud park. They're going to be going crazy, man. If you're a Seattle Mariner fan and your team's coming back up 2-0, that place will be going crazy.
Fired up. Yeah.
All right, confirm it tonight. Easton Cowan should be given a long test run with Austin Matthews.
I'm going to deny it. I just think it's a lot to ask for a young player in his first year, first set of games, second game tonight. Here's the top line. Regardless if it's Matthews, if it's McDavid, if it's McKinnon, it's a lot of responsibility. O just talked about it too. It's not even playing with those guys. It's also top line matchups. You're playing against everybody's best. You're playing against top D. Like, that's a big challenge. I would have much rather see him farther down in the lineup and just get the feel of the league and then get some second line power play, all of that type of stuff. When you are on the top line, all eyes are on you. They lost yesterday. We're still talking about, hey, what do you think of Easton Cowan's game? Tonight, how it's going to go. Now, if he gets a goal and an assist and looks very good, you get a little longer runway. I think my wish for him is just to settle into the league and not have that amount of pressure on him early on.
I think that's all reasonable, but I also think it's a legitimate fight for who's going to take that spot.
100% is.
So I'll confirm it that, this Michelli, I just don't know what they have here in him.
How many guys have they had play on that top line? 4 or 5 now? Because Domi's been there, Michelli's been there. Has Jornkrok?
I thought they gave a shift or two to him and McMahon, I believe. I wonder, too, if, Willie doesn't get cooking, do they throw him up with Austin at some point and say, and they've given him shifts.
Near the end of the game and all of that, they had those 3 out there. But you're right. I think there's been 4 or 5 guys in that spot. So Cowan, if he goes and earns it, great. But it's not a good sign when you're like, oh,
feels desperate, honestly.
Yeah, this guy's here, this guy's here.
It's not what they had in mind. And now Lawton's injury is factored into that, but it seems like, and Lorenz for that matter, who I don't believe will play tonight.
Right.
But it did feel like that's what they wanted. 12 forward, 2 veteran guys, 8-9 minutes a night, ease them in. And now instead, you're going out there with Matthews, who scored 1 empty netter going into Game 4, and he's got to get cooking.
Yeah.
But it would be a great story, and it's not one that is completely foreign to the league. It has happened.
Of course.
Where high-end players show up, young age, they go in, they're comfortable, they hit the ground running, and they never look back. Is it reasonable to expect that? Probably not. Is it impossible to expect it? No.
The only thing is, though, were those high-end, and I don't have them off the top of my head, is there a high-end rookie that's come in and stepped into a top line of a team that's really good, not a rebuilding team? That's the difference.
Yes, I know.
Celebrini, Bedard, all those guys, they're on rebuilding teams. So, hey, no problem. 22 minutes here for you. You go play in all these situations. I'm trying to think of, name me, Florida had, actually Dallas. Didn't Dallas originally, Wyatt Johnston step right in?
Even Stankoven. I feel like Pasternak may have shown up and went right up with, I don't know if he was immediately with Bergeron and Marchand, but pretty quickly. Now, Pasternak's Pasternak.
I was just going to say.
I get it, but he was, he was like a 25th pick overall. It wasn't like he was a first overall pick that immediately you thought this guy's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think impactful on a team that has very high expectations.
It's not, there's not a ton of examples.
It's rare, yeah.
It is definitely rare. Seth Jarvis came up early and was playing pretty high up the lineup on a good Carolina team. But, all right. There you go. Confirm or deny. Confirm or deny. One. Yeah, a lot of Leafs and Jays. Leaving the NFL out of it. Hazenbrough on fire.
Man,
Owen Wilson picking a couple of winners, but Hazenbrough on fire right now.
You guys are what, +2 now?
+2, yep. +2.
Al's brother has just been on fire in the group chat.
He's
so arrogant in the group chat.
Listen, he is seeing the board very, very well. 20/20 vision for Al's brother.
Yeah.
There's no disputing it.
Thing is, though, if you act that arrogant in the group chat, the minute you crash and burn, people are waiting to just...
They are waiting.
Shank.
But Al's brother has perfected there's always an explanation for a loss.
Yeah. Oh, he's always
refs jam
job. Yeah.
Wind got up. What happened there?
I will say, the home plate umpires have not been very good in this series as well.
Eddings was an issue last night. Like that first hitter that he faced, Arozarena, he had him, man. When the batter is walking towards the dugout,
like he goes, he knows.
Randy was like, "You got me."
Yeah.
Punch up. Thank you. Good for you. And instead, and then he ends up hitting him, and then he walks Raleigh, and then Rodriguez takes him deep, and the hanging splitter, man. That's what got Gosman in the first game against Raleigh. Those splitters were the pitch of the first round, and they've hurt them in round 2.
There has been some referee issues in all pro sports. Like there was a no-goal called in Ottawa yesterday, and I initially was like, why are they even reviewing that? Saros just looked like he fell, and then there was a little contact with Stützle on the back door, but it looked like there was enough time for Saros to recover. And it was like a 5-minute review, too.
Sickening, all these reviews.
And then no goal. And I was like, oh. And, of course, the fans are mad at me.
It's your fault.
Well, because I said, well, I think the skate, clicks there. And you could see.
You told Toronto or whatever.
All of a sudden, Toronto's
they're like, oh, good point,
what
Noodles.
I have to say on the broadcast, which they're not. So, anyways, it was the refs have had a tough go. Both coaches had some choice words for the ref in the game yesterday. Bruno had called over, and Travis Green was calling them over. There were some conversations.
I was in the interview room in the podium when Schneider came up after the game last night, and he was somewhat diplomatically talking about
stop short saying
the jamming them up.
Yeah,
and kind of trying to explain what happened with Savage. Like, well, a couple things we probably thought it should have been an out there.
Yeah.
Somewhat subtle, but not really.
Backhanded comments.
Backhanded comments.
Yeah.
All right, best bets coming up on Leafs Preds. We'll do that next.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, best bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Here's a same-game parlay for the Leaf game tonight. Easton Cowan to record a point. William Nylander to score a goal. That feels like a lock. I think Willie, he's got to be flying tonight.
Yeah.
And Steven Stamkos 3+ shots on goal. That parlay is paying over plus 1,000.
That's a big number.
Big number, and I really like the look and the feel and the sound of that same-game parlay. And best bets powered by FanDuel. Same-game parlays are now available for every NHL game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 18+, physically located in Ontario. So we got the Leafs in action tonight, Jays in action tomorrow. We got a bunch of games in the NHL. The NBA starts a week tonight.
Yeah.
Got game 2 of the NLCS. Dodgers already up 1-0 in that series in Milwaukee.
The Dodgers just do it.
They do it. They find a way to win, and that's what happened. They got Sasaki, like he's a closer now, and he came out, and Snell was brilliant yesterday.
Yeah, they get it done.
They find a way. The Dodgers find a way.
Yeah,
and that's what the Jays have to do, and we'll see.
I think the Jays will have a response.
I think they will. I think they'll be better tomorrow, and I guess we'll see what the Leafs have in action in store tonight.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to get into this week, man. There's going to be a lot of good stuff. We got to touch on this Belichick stuff. Now he's claiming all the reporting about him wanting out is inaccurate, fake news.
Man, oh, man.
I'm not buying that it's inaccurate.
It's just noisy around this guy. I would think that his life would want to be quiet, and instead it's like on 10.
Yeah.
Volume's on 10.
TMZ every day with Bill Belichick.
It's crazy.
Just slow down, Bill.
Well, his
Get
girlfriend
out of
is
here.
the one who's the...
Yeah, it's a problem, and he's a problem, and the team stinks. And he's in college at North Carolina.
And worried about social media posts and stuff.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
It's a weird vibe. And there's New England, his former team, looking pretty good.
Yep,
4-2, leading the AFC East.
Yeah, they look solid.
Look pretty good. All right, Leafs coming up tonight on TSN 4. We look forward to that. A full breakdown tomorrow. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and of course up on YouTube Live. On TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
4 p.m.
We'll chat then.